Last night, we had Smackdown, Collision, and Rampage, all before All Out tonight. Here's some cool stories from the wrestling world. It was the last night of the Fox era of Smackdown. When that partnership was announced, it seemed like it might be the biggest thing in the world, but 5 years later, and it was just fine. Those are the cycles of professional wrestling. I guess we could wonder if Fox never brought CM Punk to work in on backstage, would he have ever even ended up going to AEW? In another timeline, I guess we'll get those answers, because we'll never know in this one. Story number 1, Cody Rhodes teases fighting Jacob Fatu. I was screaming steel cage match for about 65 seconds while Nick Aldis was interfering the segment with his monologue. We're getting Solo versus Cody next week in a steel cage match, which is perfect, but we're all waiting for that Jacob Fatu match. Number 2, did Miss Money in the Bank almost win a match? It's Tiffy time. Papa H almost did something different with the briefcase holder. She got a visual pin on Bayley, and that's different than losing every match for 9 months straight, so I'm here for it. I'm also very happy to see Lyra Valkyria working to build herself back up. Her return on NXT this week was glorious, so all good things. Story number 3, the Da Vinci Code, a squash match. Right before the Da Vinci match started, I thought to myself, if Vince was still in charge, he would troll us and squash this dude. And clearly I just have the WWE protocol implanted into my brain, because that's what happened anyway. Story number 4, Legado del Fantasma and the family. I'm convinced they all share we work together, right? They have to. And I also am convinced that that's the same place where Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne were getting coffee that one time on that NXT segment. Remember that? Either way, Dragon Lee versus Ilya Dragunov versus Dirty Dom. Fun. Story number 5. Why is Piper not getting any love? I get it. Chelsea Green is a star right now between SmackDown and NXT. Why can't Piper have a side feud though? Why can't they bring back Tegan Knox and let them do something in the ring while Chelsea is working her way up to the title? I want to see Piper wrestle. Story number 6. Austin Theory has one of the best sells for the stunner ever. I've heard people talk bad about it before. I think it was after the WrestleMania Stone Cold one, but I won't hear a word about it. This is why Austin was one of Vince's golden boys. These are the type of things that get you remembered forever. Story number 7. The Andrade versus Carmelo package was fire. Enough said. The segment wasn't the greatest, but the crowd is getting louder. I'm more into these guys every week, so I'll be patient. Story number 8, the Bloodline story needs a transfusion. I was so excited for Roman to be back, and with good riddance, him coming back was like a surge. The story definitely drags when he's not here though. Not sure how Solo and Roman have touched too soon, but also not touched enough. We're not getting any Jimmy teases, we're not getting any Paul Heyman teases. It almost makes me wonder, why did Roman even come back? It's been more than 6 months. We got more than 6 months until WrestleMania, so I guess I'll just be patient. We had Collision competing with Smackdown at 8 p.m. on a Friday night for AEW's All Out show, followed by Rampage. Story number 1, Lance Archer knows his character perfectly. And it's not even a new thing. It's been like this ever since New Japan. We don't need more championships in AEW, but we need something for guys like this, and Brian Cage, and Shane Taylor, who give so much but are never really in line for the TNT title, or the heavyweight title, or the international title, or the continental title. Maybe they need the Ring of Honor television title. Maybe that's where it's gotta go. Story number 2, our kitty Aura gotta add some Samantha Irving into that GYV announcement. We are grizzled young vets. Hey, I'm not knocking you. We welcome you openly into this family, Arkady Aura. You have seamlessly joined this organization. I just also like personalized ring announcements. WWE has got that on lock. Story number 3, Cassidy is back with the light-skinned denim. I didn't think that OC was turning heel, but he was definitely at a turning point, and now I'm wondering, am I just looking too deeply into this? Story number 4, can the Outrunners outrun the job section? I think they did. I'm always happy to see a team that was relatively unknown, who start to get a gimmick over while they're being jobbers, and then eventually they get to show off their own matches. Good for you, the Outrunners. We are very happy for you. Story number 5, whoa, Chris Statlander has a good reason. The thing about heel turns is that the best ones are the justifiable ones. Even so, heels normally just go with the basic promo rather than hit all of the valid points that we've been seeing the whole time. And Chris with Stokely did that initially, but this interview was all about validating the betrayal, and I appreciate that. Story number 6, Mortos is a beast. Am I stating the obvious? Yes. Story number 7, the biggest slags who ever did slug or slag? I keep saying it. Harley Cameron and Soraya are great together. Harley has so much charisma, almost like she was built to be a WWE manager. Either way, I don't know where this is going to go, but I love it. Story number 8, who says Young Bucks don't do collisions? I guess only when they're on Friday nights, and only when they can give us 30-minute bangers. Thanks, boys. I said boys, not the boys. Thanks, Bucks. Thanks, EVPs. Story number 9, who says the show needs to end before the match does? One of the cool things that AEW can do that WWE can't are these little run-on moments. It happens during the battle of the belt sometimes, and it's fun, you know. It makes regular television feel like a pay-per-view. Story number 10, Marina, Moxley, Mafia, Mayhem. I guess this is the real MXM, XM, XM collective, and I'm fine with it. Story number 11, Aminata, who hotta? What you gotta say about it? Story number 12, Austin Gunn needs a nickname. Talk about long-term storytelling. We got Rock Hard Juice Robinson, Fully Cocked Colton Gunn, Switchblade Jay White, Austin Gunn needs a nickname. How about Stone Cold? Story number 13. House of Black versus the other MXM collection. The crowd started cheering House of Gucci for MXM to compete against the House of Black chants, which is hilarious. Has Brody King always come out through the babyface entrance? Because Buddy was coming out the heel entrance. Has this always been happening? Am I just noticing it now? Whatever. 10s all around for the House of Black. And for our honorable mentions today, Sheeta got some of the coolest, unique gear in pro wrestling. She really puts the whole thing together all herself. Will Ospreay got the international title feeling like a heavyweight championship, and that's great too. My tips are frosted, and I'm not even doing finger stuff. Gates open.
Right. Because the silent P said so.
Seriously? Seriously? Cool.